The new year has begun, and it's time to summarize. In December, the Ukrainian defense forces still managed to set several records for destroying the potential of Russian troops. In December 2023, the enemy lost almost 30,000 people, which is an absolute record of losses for 22 months of full-scale war. In addition to losses of personnel, the occupants suffered record losses in motor transport, 931 units. In the combat zone, Russian troops are increasingly using civilian vehicles to carry out specific tasks, which are more typical for the armored fighting vehicles, which leads to such losses. Also indicative of the record of special vehicles, 140 pieces. In December, the second record for the entire time of the full-scale invasion in terms of tank losses was recorded, 419. In many respects, this was possible due to the tank terror that the AFU arranged for the Russians from December 16 to 17, when the enemy forces tried to make a breakthrough in several parts of the front. The year 2023 was a record year in artillery destruction. More than 8,100 pieces of artillery were destroyed. Never before, in the last 30 years of modern history, had so many artillery systems been destroyed in a month in a single war or conflict. At the time of the full-scale invasion of Ukraine, the Russian forces had a total of no less than 3,100 guns of 100 mm and above. The predominant part of these were the most modern for the Russian army, 30-year-old Mr. S self-propelled howitzer. Now the enemy has no less than 4,500 artillery systems in the combat zone. At first glance, Russia's artillery potential is inexhaustible and it is constantly being restored. But this is only at first glance. The Russian military-industrial complex has the ability to send an average of 350 units of towed barrel artillery to the war zone per month, and today there is no full-fledged, serial production of artillery barrels in Russia. Still, what is Russia's estimated artillery capability today? Pause the video if you're interested in the numbers. The in storage category indicates the amount that is tentatively repairable and can be brought to a combat-ready state. That is, roughly the same number of barrels remain in stock at the enemy's disposal as have been destroyed since 2022. But there is a nuance: there is quantity, but there is no quality. The share of towed artillery in the Russian forces is growing as the most straightforward to restore and quickly compensate for losses. But at the same time it is destroyed faster, because it has a disadvantage in mobility, firing range and accuracy, which negatively affects the indicator of counter-battery warfare. The absence of a unified 152 mm projectile also becomes a problem. That is, the recovery of artillery also depends on the availability of one or another type of ammunition, with which it can be proportionally provided. All of the above factors suggest that Russia will still be able to systematically compensate for artillery losses, using Soviet stocks for at least the whole of 2024, but even they are not infinite. In addition, not all stockpiles are recoverable and can be provided with ammunition.